people would say, like, don't put your real age on your
Absolutely.
resume or your headshot. So when you show up to an audition, say you're younger than you are. So during that time frame, you were going to auditions. I mean, you look very what we would consider to be someone looking young.
Sure.
I can imagine then when you were 25, 26, you obviously passed for someone who was 16, 17. Yes. What was that experience like for you going into these castings? Like, were you going into the castings as someone that was playing 17 years old?
Definitely.
Okay.
I'll never forget, I had a specific audition for a movie called The Reading Room. And which I think you're not supposed to do this, but the director asked me how old I was. And I knew that if I said that I was 24, that immediately he was going to think differently of me. And so my response, the character was also a little sassy, and my response was, I'm as old as you think I am. And he said, no, really, how old are you? And I was like, I'm whatever age you want me to be. And I just literally never said my age. And it really went with the character, so I got away with having that kind of an attitude. But the truth is that I did feel like the moment I opened my mouth, it suddenly shifted and I was perceived differently, even though like visibly I was able to portray a teenager because I was in my mid-20s at that time. That did immediately make people think differently, and I often lost out on jobs because of it.
How did that affect your personal life? Like the mindset you must have to go into that you're showing up to an audition, you're like, okay, I'm embodying a 17-year-old, I need to act differently. Did that affect your like off-screen or your off-time life? Or your...
I think it all just impacts you because ultimately being an artist, you are constantly faced with the too much or not enough of something, right? And so you're constantly trying to figure out what it is that is going to land you the job or what it is that has kept you from it. I struggle sometimes to be taken seriously in certain environments, even when I say that I'm 42. People go, oh, wow, oh my gosh. And then I get the whole room blows up and it's shock. But then shortly thereafter, I start getting sweetie and babied again. And it's something that I don't mind, except that when it undermines my wisdom. I've been through so much to be the person that I am today. And at times I feel that because my face betrays me, it betrays the heartache that I've been through. It betrays the betrayal that I've endured. It betrays the sacrifices that I've made. It, in many ways, makes me at times have to fight for the place that I occupy. But at the same time, I'm also really grateful because I know that this melanin is just like keeping me, very youthful. And it allows me to connect to young people in a way that I think really supports my purpose. And so for me, it was something that I did struggle with for a while that I completely embrace now. For me, I love my age and I thankfully I have traveled extensively. I've worked on myself a lot. I've worked on a lot of self-development to not let these things, even though they can be triggering, I don't let them be defining. I still take that step back. I do believe that our lives are not necessarily like mapped out for us, but I do think that they do have a divine purpose. And I think that we arrive at certain places for a reason that's bigger than us and maybe sometimes something we're not even necessarily privy to.